Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Stone houses, antique stores, Quaker farmland. This is where Rennie Reynolds and Jack Staub come to slow down, away from their home in Manhattan, where the taxis don't slow down, the prices don't slow down, the boss doesn't slow down. Here you can slow down.
Okay, I think we have time for one more sticky bun, and a cup of
Okay.
coffee, and then we really got to get
Oh, the plate's right here?
Sam, I have a lot to show you in the garden today. So
We have got vegetables to pick. We've got eggs to gather.
Vegetables.
perennial
We've got
borders, we have
weeding to do.
vegetable
Weeding,
gardens,
vegetable
we have
And I think
gardens.
we
summer
may even have to
gardens, we
clean the
have-
pool.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Coffee.
Okay, Samantha, what we want to do here is cut away all that new growth on the wisteria, because wisteria just grows like a weed here. We want to get all of the new growth off so you see the great sculpture of the old wood.
So I'm just going to take a little off the side, right?
Take a lot off.
Take a lot off.
If you have never tasted a farm fresh egg, you are in for a big treat.
I've
And
never
we have a
I've never even
bunch
seen.
right here, right here. Look at her, she's sitting.
They're eggs. They're
Isn't that
real.
incredible?
And she's sitting on the eggs right
Look
now.
at that. Is that a beauty or what?
That is gorgeous. Can I take one?
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Keep
great.
going.
So,
We'll have an omelet for lunch.
so you eat these?
Of course.
Of course. Oh
Of
my
course.
gosh, I've
After a little
never-
washing, that always helps.
I love eggs.
We'll
Boiled,
make her get off hers.
baked, and Benedict. Bless them.
Perfect.
Yes. Now we're going to feed these guys.
Now, it's only fair when you get the eggs to give something back, so they get all the scraps from the kitchen.
Scrap it. Oh,
Just,
it's Phyllis Diller.
I know. He's Polish, actually.
It's Polish.
His name is Clayborn. There you
What a
go.
lovely singing voice you
I
have.
think that was a thank you.
Are you a professional?
These are the lovely Mitford sisters.
Midford sisters?
Nancy, Decca, Debo, and Unity.
Well, hello. I didn't know I
Aren't
was
they
among
lovely?
greatness.
Showgirls.
They're showgirls. But
And
they
lovely
sound more
singing
like truck
voices.
drivers. Well, same
I
to
beg
you,
your
too.
pardon.
Lot to do here.
There is a huge amount to do here. We are never at a loss for a project.
Do you split the chores evenly?
No, of course not. Jack has about half an acre of vegetable gardens to take care of, and I take care of the other 71.5 acres. And I also exert overall aesthetic control on everything.
You know, I knew that.
You did?
Yes, I can tell. It's all you. It's all you here.
All right, now we're going to harvest some squash. There's a really nice sunburst one there, right?
You know, they look
there.
fake.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That is unbelievable
It's like
color
a
of yellow.
star.
Oh.
There you go. Isn't that great?
I'm going to use this
You
as
can
a
wear it as a
bouquet in my
crown.
wedding. Just walk down the aisle with this. It's beautiful.
It's like a crown. So I think a couple of heads of cabbage and we will have dinner.
Right
Those
there?
are they.
Oh, you're
Those
all
are they. They're
mine.
beauties. Stone heads.
I'm not going to even be nice. I'm just going to cut.
Nope. Cut away.
Ah, oh my gosh, these are tough.
Cut
Yes.
away.
Ha!
It's a beauty.
Mwah.
Okay.
Jack, I have an idea.
What?
All right, you know how you have all lettuces here? You have arugula, you got spinach, you got chard. What you need to do, you know those hose attachments that you put on and then you can spray a solution?
Uh-huh.
Fill that up with a nice balsamic vinaigrette. Just spray, go through, no utensils, no dishes, just eat. It's taken nearly 20 years, but Rennie and Jack have worked their magic on every inch of the farm, turning pastures and meadows into gardens of all shapes and sizes. And the 18th century farmhouse, they've got one of those too, they renovated completely from top to bottom. This is the formal living room, which was added to the house about 80 years after the original was built. It's furnished with a lot of authentic pieces from that time, and the paintings are from the Bucks County Impressionist period. The Bucks County Impressionist period probably lasted from the late 1800s into the 1930s. And what's beautiful are these paintings are actually of the areas around. You could go down the street and see this scene. You can see this home. They're still here. It's still a part of the land. This wall is blue because of blueberries. This is called original blue, and Jack and Rennie actually had to go through 7 coats of paint, strip it, to find this blue. And I tasted it, and it doesn't taste like blueberries. This is an original grandfather clock from the 1700s, and it doesn't tell time anymore, but it still does the best thing. Cool. This is the dining room, and what completely dominates it is this walk-in fireplace, which Jack and Rennie love to fill this up with water, heat it over the fire, and pour a fresh, hot water bath. They say it takes about 4 hours, but it's fabulous. I'm just kidding. This is a part of Rennie's extensive Majolica collection. He has it here because it gives the room a splash of color, and also as I look around, each piece has a nature scene. Anything you see on these plates are actually around his grounds, something he's planted, something he cultivates. This is a precious little room in here right out of an E.M. Forster novel. The walls are actually hand-painted, and if you look around, there's a seashell motif throughout the whole room. Kind of gives you that English cottage by the seashore feel. Like I was a woman in the late 1800s. I'd just come in here to put down my hat, pick up my journal, and I'm going down for tea. This room is furnished much in the same fashion that the original owners would have decorated it. Very simple, yet very fine quality. And the woodwork in this room is beautiful. It's all original woodwork, the chair rails and the thickness of the walls. This is a well-made house. It has been around for 300 years, and it's got another 300 years left. This fountain empties out into their pool, and the deck around their pool is a rock garden. This ought to stop kids from running around it.
As any gardener knows, Samantha, deadheading in a flower garden is one of the biggest projects, cutting back all of the flowers that have bloomed already so that hopefully they'll bloom again. Sam? Sam?
3 points for the winning shot. Yes! Yes! Wow! Yes! Yes! We spent about 20 years planning this horticultural paradise, but what's really beautiful is that you've actually planned for its future.
Well, we have, because we really see this as a lifelong project. The land is now all deed restricted, so there can be no more building on the land, and we've created a foundation so that our demise, it will be a public garden and horticultural education institution. And we're hoping that the house will be a house museum as well, so that it'll really be something for Bucks Countyans to treasure long into the future.
What a wonderful way to repay your community.
Well, we love it here, and it's really nice to create this.
Are these your swans, or did they just fly in and use your pond?
No, they're our swans.
They're yours?
We brought them here. They're Australian black swans.
Oh, beautiful.
There are a lot of different, we've been collecting the fowl for a long time, and some come, some go, but it's really interesting. The geese with the black and white striped heads are called barhead geese. The black swans are Australian black swans. There are swans with yellow beaks that are perfectly wonderful looking, and they're called whoopers. And they're great because as they age, they begin to whoop, whoop, whoop. This is a pavilion.
A pavilion.
And we dug the pond out and then decided to build a pavilion hanging over the water, or at least looking as if it was hanging over the water once the pond was dug.
So clearly this is the barn.
Oh. Look at this, is gorgeous.
You may notice that, yeah. We decided we would replace that wall with glass. So the beam structure, as you can see, is still in place.
And this is the original beam structure.
Exactly, the original beam structure.
When does this date back to, this barn?
This barn is about 1820, but most of the house was started in about 1729. Built in 3 sections, the last one being 1793.
Also pretty recent.
Yeah, about the year I was born, I think. Obviously, this is our library room. We built it as a library, but we use it a lot to hang out in general. As you probably know about 18th century houses, they have quite small, dark rooms, so this room is filled with light and space, and we really appreciate that.
So there's a lot of work to do.
There was a lot of work to do, but over time, it wasn't so hard.
So, between you and Rennie, who does the most work?
Oh, he probably told you that he does work around here. Well, we have him under a doctor's care because no, it's not true. I do.
Is he
I do
medicated?
everything. He's heavily medicated and should be more heavily medicated.
He kept asking me for my aspirin, and I said, no, Rennie, you cannot have my aspirin.
No, I really do everything single-handedly around here.
You do everything
Yes.
single-handedly?
Yes.
I knew that.
Thank you.
Are these your library books here?
These are some of the library books.
Can I go up the slide?
Absolutely, right up.
Are you going to look up my skirt?
Yes, I hope so.
Good. That's why I
we have
planned
about 2,000 volumes of kind of out-of-print and unusual and rare garden books, many of them English, and I'm in the process of cataloging them, so you can see there's some spaces up there.
I see a romance novel.
There you go. We do a little literature, too.
This is a great table. It's huge.
This table we found in the flea market in Paris, and it is great for its size. It's 8 by 10, came in 2 big panels, but comes apart, luckily.
Who loves the dogs?
I love the
They're
dogs.
your
I
dogs?
collect metal dogs from all over the world.
I like the idea of putting them on top of the books.
They guard them.
And Mercury.
And this is Mercury. These are floral frogs that you put in the bottom of a vase or a bowl or something, and they're antiques. This is a particularly interesting one.
Oh, that is neat.
Made out of curled lead.
Oh, that moves, sorry.
And over there's a lamp we found in New York City. We chanced upon its mate at the Morgan Library in New York.
And this. Oh,
This is
my
our pride.
gosh.
This is probably the most fun thing in the entire barn. Rennie designed it, and our manager Bob built it incredibly well and discreetly. You can just see it's put together with these little tabs.
And
at
these
the
are
bottom.
real tools.
These are old antique tools that were gotten in England mainly, and some in America. You can see that this is an old soil sifter. This is the handle of a hay fork. This is a scythe. As you can see, it's got a very sharp blade. Over here we've got another hay fork, sharp tines. This is an old tiller. We've got a couple of scythes up here with the handles. It's very sturdy. Not that part. Very sturdy indeed. So if you lurch
not going
against
up
it,
this
don't be
staircase.
afraid. Feel free to go up
Right,
and test it yourself.
I've
if
seen
you'd
a horror
like.
movie that involved a staircase and pitchforks. I don't know about this, but up here's the TV room. I'll go and relax.
It is,
I'll watch
exactly.
some light TV. They've got chickens, ducks, geese, roosters, a horse, many horses, a peacock, rock gardens, summer gardens, winter gardens, pillow garden. Love that. The effort here is unbelievable, especially to someone like me whose idea of gardening is making a salad. And the funny thing is, this is where they come to vacation. They go back home to Manhattan to relax. Well, put a pitchfork in me, I'm finished. Jack Staub and Rennie Reynolds pretty much have life figured out. They have a vacation retreat which allows them to do what they want, what they love, to plant, to grow, to have animals. But they also had the foresight to secure the land in a trust, so that long after they're gone, this place will still hold the vision they first had. So when they've passed on, people will still be vacationing here. Like this cat. It's tough being a cat, I know.
Okay, Samantha, what we want to do here is cut away all that new growth on the wisteria, because wisteria just grows like a weed here. We want to get all of the new growth off so you see the great sculpture of the old wood.
So I'm just going to take a little off the side, right?
Take a lot off.
Take a lot off.
If you have never tasted a farm fresh egg, you are in for a big treat.
I've
And
never
we have a
I've never
bunch
even seen
right here. Look at her. She's sitting.
They're eggs.
To give something back, so they get all the scraps from the kitchen.
Oh,
Just,
it's Phyllis Diller.
I know. He's Polish, actually.
It's Polish.
His name is Cleghorn. There you
What a
go.
lovely singing voice you
I
have.
think that was a thank you.
Are you a professional?
These are the lovely Mitford sisters.
Midford sisters?
Nancy, Decca, Debo, and Unity.
Well, hello. I didn't know I was
Aren't they
among
lovely?
greatness.
Showgirls.
They're Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Stone houses, antique stores, Quaker farmland. This is where Rennie Reynolds and Jack Staub come to slow down, away from their home in Manhattan, where the taxis don't slow down.
Isn't that incredible?
And she's sitting on the eggs right
Look
now.
at that. Is that a beauty or
That
what?
is gorgeous. Can I take one?
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Keep going.
So,
We'll have an omelet for lunch.
so you eat these?
Of course.
Of course. Oh
Of
my
course.
gosh, I've
After a little
never-
washing, that always helps.
I love eggs.
We'll
Boiled,
make her get off hers.
baked, and Benedict. Bless them.
Perfect.
Yes. Now we're gonna feed these guys.
Now, it's only fair when you get the eggs.
The prices don't slow down. The boss doesn't slow down. Here you can slow down.
Okay, I think we have time for one more sticky bun and a cup of
Okay.
coffee, and then we really got to get
Other plates right here.
Sam, I have a lot to show you in the garden today. So
We have got vegetables to pick. We've got eggs to
Vegetables.
gather.
perennial
We've got
borders, we
weeding
have
to do.
vegetable
Weeding,
gardens,
vegetable
we have
And I think
gardens.
we
summer
may even have to
gardens, we
clean the
have
pool.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Coffee.